Welcome to Microsoft Teams session. In this session, we will see how Teams can be leveraged in online teaching. First, we will see what is virtual classroom and what are the features over there. If we come to the Teams window, we can see on this screen the professor. He or she has created one virtual classroom named Computer Science and Engineering second semester. If we get into this virtual classroom, we can see in this left hand side panel under main classroom, we having a channel called general, which is common for every virtual classroom, where the institute or that professor, they can put some information for the students like syllabus, exam schedule, and any assignment if the professor float into the class. Under general channel, we'll be getting some option like post where the institute have already posted. We are getting a tab called files where a file, this is folder, a folder is there named class materials. This is read-only folders for the students. If a professor put any files over here, like this professor has uploaded a file in this particular folder named what are up concepts in Java. So this file, it's read only for the students. They cannot download, they can see it, they cannot change online also. There is a tab called class notebook where the teacher and student both they can work. On the page of class notebook, the teacher and student both the side annotation is possible. Next tab is called assignment, where professor can float the assignment and student can take the assignment. Next is the grade. After review the assignment, when professor will give the marks as well as feedback to the student, that assignment goes to the grade tab. In the left hand side, we are getting more channels. Here we have given the channel names called OOPS, data science, artificial intelligence, networking, big data analysis, group project work, and lab work. This channel is basically the professor can create subject wise or topic wise. Here, this particular professor, he has created topic wise. If we click on that particular channel, then we'll be getting a post option where teacher and student they can start discussion. Teacher can ask question, student can reply on this question, or student can post anything, the best knowledge, the best practice they can post over here. It's visible to all the students, those who are part of this class. There is a file tab for each channel. If the professor want the topic wise some materials they would like to upload, they can do it. In this particular file tab, the students they can download it to read it in offline, and they can read online also. In a channel, we having an option called notes where day-to-day work the student can keep over here. The same way we can move to the data science, we'll be getting some different topics. We can move to artificial intelligence. So every channel, the teachers and student can start different topic. They can start with different topic. And if I move to the next channel, here you are getting that teachers started discussion with the students with a different topics, as well as teachers assigned the assignment and schedule online class. So in a channel, we can start discussion, we can float assignment, and we can schedule the class. So channel is basically for three things: discussion, floating assignment, and scheduling class. We having option called files where the teacher can keep the class material over there. Next, this channel having two parts. One is the private channel, one is public channel. These are the channel called the public channel where the student can post everything, all the students part of that. And these are the private channel where teacher having the option to choose. If the teacher having 500 student in the class, among 500 they can choose 100 for this particular private channel. Next, we'll see a teacher how they can create this virtual classroom. In the left hand side panel, here the first tab is called activity, through which teachers and student will able to know that what are the activities is going on in the virtual classroom. So this is basically for the notification area. Next is the chat where teacher and student, they can do one-to-one or one-to-many conversation. Next is the teams where the teacher, they can create a virtual classroom. The below tab is called assignment. The assignment where the teacher can float the assignment for the student. It may be the subjective type or quiz. Next is calendar where teacher can schedule class, and in the same place the student can take the class. Next is the call option. So through the Teams application, teachers and students, they can do online calls. If a teacher click on Teams application, Teams tab, then they'll be getting an option called join or create team. Teacher can click this option where the two features will come. One is create team and join a team with a code. Basically, this join a team with a code for the students, where the students will put the code that will provided by institute or particular professor to join a particular class. Next option is create team, where teacher will click over there and they will be getting four options. Out of these four options, the professor need to click on class to create a virtual classroom. The other three options like professional learning community, staffs and others, the institute can use to create separate groups for the staff members, the other activity option, or the professional learning with the students and outside lecture. Here the student they have to click, sorry, the professor has to click on class to create a virtual class. They can type a class like suppose MBA third sem. They have to click next. In next screen, the professor having option to add the student manually. So here I am adding two students. In the second tab, the professor having option to add co-teachers. I am adding one professor in this class. Then if I click close, then my classroom is ready. In this class, I can add manually the more students. How? We having an option called more options in front of my virtual class. If I click there, I will get an option called manage team. Under manage team, there is a tab called members where I get to know how many owners and members are there. There are two owners, means two faculties are there, and two members. We have added them as a student. Here we having an option to add more student or teacher. Like this way, we can add more student. In this same window, we'll be getting a settings tab where we'll get team theme, member permission, guest permission, from where we can personalize our virtual classroom and give some permission and restrict some option from the students. There we having an option called team code through which the students can join this particular virtual classroom. This is a unique code through which the student they can join to the virtual classroom. How they will join? The student simply click on this Teams after logging in. Then they have to click on join or create team. There is an option called team code. In this particular field, they have to put the code and they can join the team. Here we'll see now how we can add channel as a different topic. So we can again go to the three dots, then manage team, which we have chosen for adding team member or generating the team code. Now we'll go to the add channels where we can give the channel name. There are two options. One is the standard team, another one is private team. In the private team, when I will choose, then we have to choose the particular student from this virtual classroom. So only those students will able to see the private channel, the other students will not able to see that private channels. It will not visible to those students. So here I am going to create a standard channel. Then if I click add, that particular channel will automatically visible on their team dashboard. In this way, we can create more channel like and add to the teams. We can start conversation here. We can do some conversation. We can write it down some conversation like suppose so whatever you will write here, anything related to this particular channel, and student can reply back and add more content on this channel. So this was all about how to create virtual classroom, how to add student or teachers, how to generate code to join the students, and what are the options available in channels. Now we'll see how we can schedule meeting using this channel. For the scheduling meeting, we have to go to the calendar. If we go to the calendar option, this is looks like spreadsheet. Vertically, it will show the dates, and horizontally, it will show the timing. This red line will just denote the current timing. Here, if I schedule a meeting, suppose 15 at 11 a.m., we have to click over here. Now we have to fill the meeting details over here, like suppose I'm creating a meeting for then attendees, where we have to add our students. So in a particular class, maybe we having 100, 200 students. So it's very difficult to add one by one in this list. If we have a small list, maybe the 10, 15, then we can add like this way. One by one we can add. But for the classroom invitation, we have to click on add channel option. Then the teams which we are part of, it will visible to us. I am going to schedule on my MBA classroom. Then we can select either general or marketing or supply chain management. These are three different channels. So I am going to choose the marketing option. On the marketing channel, we are going to schedule the meeting. Then we are going to click send. Before that, here we can check the date and timing again. This is on 15. It is from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. You can change it manually also by typing, or you can choose from the list. You can block your student calendar for all the day. This option is also available, and you can Repeat this meeting on the same time for every weekdays, daily. It may include Saturday and Sunday, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, or yearly you can choose. Now, if you send, then meeting calendar will be blocked for that particular professor as well as the student of this virtual class. So if the student, they go to the Teams and go to the marketing channel, they will able to see that the professor has scheduled a meeting on 15th 11 a.m. onwards. They can click over here to join. Otherwise, best practice is they can go to the calendar and they can join to that meeting. Now, for the professor, they can do some restrict during the online class for the student. How they will restrict the student? They, after scheduling, they can go to the calendar and they can click to that meeting which he has or she has scheduled. They can click over there. They will be getting an option called meeting options. When they will click, the options will open on browser. On the browser, the first option is who can bypass lobby. Basically, there are three options. Mainly we use people in my organization. You can choose everyone. If in your meeting there are some guests, so you should choose the everyone. So everybody can join the meeting without your approval. Otherwise, if you want to secure your meeting, you can choose people in my organization. The next option will come, always let callers bypass the lobby. If you make it no, then you have to approve each and every participant of that online class. Next, announce when callers join or leave. If you make it yes, then you will get a pop-up when a student or teacher will join in the class, including when they will leave in between, the professor will get a notification. The main option over here, who can present. Here by default, it will be everyone. If the teacher choose only me option and save, what will happen? The participant, all the students will go for attendees. That attendees of the online class, they cannot share their screen. They cannot record the meeting. They cannot disturb other participants, like they cannot mute or remove from the online meeting. So all this restriction you can make by choosing only me option in who can present in that field. Then teachers need to save this option. So by clicking from calendar, join, or they can move to the Teams by clicking this particular blue ribbon, they can join to the meeting. When they will join the meeting, the screen will look like this. In this screen, the first option is show participants. So professor can click over here. They can see how many participants are there in this online class. The teams having a good features to download the attendance. So before ending the online class, the teacher can click this down arrow to download the online attendance, and teacher will get to know the total log file that each and every student that in and out time will be stamped over there. Next is the conversation where the student can write any question. Teacher can see the question after the online class and they can reply one by one. So teachers will be not disturbed during the class. Another option is there for the student called raise hand. So student can raise the hand in between the class if they have any query. So teacher will be get notified and teacher will see the student who having the issue. They can take the question, solve it, and they can again start the lecture. Next, there is a more actions where there is a gallery. So all the videos will become over here. So teachers can see the faces of students. We having option apply background effect. So when teacher will be in their home, so they can apply this background effect for their privacy. They can do blur also. Next, we having option turn on live caption. If the student having a bad speaker or headphones, so they can start this live caption or they can ask teacher to on the live caption. So what will happen? The teacher voice will convert in text. So it will be easy for student to get understand the teacher's voice. The teams having option to record the session. So professor can record each and every session. So if by any cause the student miss the class, so afterwards student can go through the online class and they can take the notes of the class. We have the option to turn on that camera. So teachers and student both they can see each other. Then we having option called microphone where the teacher and student can mute and unmute themselves. We're having option to sharing the screen. When the professor will share the screen, it looks like this where extreme left option is called the desktop. If a professor choose the desktop option during online class, when they will swap one window to another window, so it will not disturb for the students. They can see all the windows one by one. Otherwise, the professor they can choose any application, particular application from this list. When during the online class, only this application will visible to students. They can't see if the teacher they switch over to another application or another window. On the right hand side, there is an option called whiteboard where the teachers and student can do the annotation. So the teachers they can write over something and the same thing will visible to the students. So there is an option for annotation where teacher and student can both work in one place. It's basically for the technical professor, maths, chemistry, physics professor for the equation. They can write it down and solve with the students. There is another checkbox called include system audio where if the teacher click this option, then whatever the video or audio the teacher will play during online class, that audio will clearly audible to end user. So this is a good features in Teams. So whenever anybody will share their screen, they should choose this option, include system audio. This was all about Microsoft Teams online session that teacher will take online class and student will join in that particular class. Now we'll see how a teacher will float an assignment and the student will take the assignment, and then teacher will review assignment and revert back with marks and feedback. Here I having another Teams. If I go to that assignment part of this particular virtual class, so there is a create option through which we can create a subjective type of assignment, or we can create a MCQ or quiz. So if I click create, there are two kinds of assignment. One is subjective type, another one is quiz. If I click assignment, so already I have created an assignment. If I go for edit assignment, the same window will come over here. First, we have to give a proper title. Next, we have to write the questions which the student will reply. Otherwise, we having an option to add resource from where the teacher, if they have created already the question paper, they can add. So they maybe add directly from OneDrive. They can add from their device. Otherwise, if they have added any files in the Teams, they can add from the Teams also, or they can create a new file using Microsoft productivity tools over here. Then the professor, they have to mention the maximum marks. Here the maximum marks is 50. The professor, they can add the rubrics, means the criteria to get that good marks for the students. So with the different criteria, they can add the rubrics through which the student will get to know how they have to submit, what are the key points to submit the assignments. Next is the due date and time. So this is the timing that when the student they have to submit it. If the due date and close date is same, it means that after this particular date, student not able to get the assignment to submit. Next, to whom we are going to assign. So we are assigning to the class the all the students of the class. So this options is there, and we having the last option in which channel we are going to assign. So we having a channel here called networking. So we have selected the networking channel to assign this particular assignment. Now, when I will assign it, the student, if I move to the student view, this is a student view. In the same, you are getting, these are the channels. So it's available over here. And if I move to the assignment tab, students are getting that networking assignment. We have added it in networking channel. So student can go to the networking channel and they can get the assignment. But best practice is go to the channel and click on assignment and take the assignment from here. So this is the assignment that student has to take. Student are getting over here the assignment that teachers has given. So they can get the questions, they can get the rubrics, and there is an option called add work. to add their work to submit the assignment. They can add work from their device. So if they use that notebook, they can write it down notebook, they can scan it and they can upload it from their device. Or if they are using Word, Excel, PowerPoint in offline or OneNote in offline, they can just add that file over here. PDF is also applicable to add from this option. Otherwise, if they have any file in OneDrive, they can add directly from here, or they can add any new file from this productivity tools. After uploading here, already this student has uploaded a Word file. After uploading, they have to click on to confirm the teachers that they have submitted the assignment. So they have to turn in the option. Now, if I move to that, this is teacher's view. If I move to the teacher's view and click to this option, so I can see that out of 4 students, 2 have turned in, right? So these are student 2 and student 4 already turned in. So how I will evaluate their work? So I can click to that particular student who have made turned in. So if I go there, I can see these are the student they have turned in, right? So teacher, they can go for reference of rubrics also from here. This is the rubrics they can see, and they can just give the feedback, and they can give the marks to the student 41, and they can return. When they will return from here, what will happen? That particular student, the student 4 will not come over here. It will just move to that grades, right? So teachers, if they click on grades, they will able to see that student 4 already got a marks. They have, the teachers has given a marks called 41, and the teacher already, he has reviewed another student called student 1 with the marks of 4. So after reviewing and revert back to the student, the teacher, they can export to the Excel to get that final details, or that combined details of students from here. Next, again, if I go to the assignment, we having another option called quiz, create quiz. So for the quiz, that teachers, they need to go to Office 365 portal. Here we having an application called Forms. So they can go to the forms. In that forms, there are two options: create new forms or new quiz. The professor, they have to choose new quiz. So here already we have a quiz. So we can click and check how we can create quiz. It's very simple. First, the professor, they have to create, they have to give a name of the quiz. Then there is add new option. You can choose which option you want. You can choose choice option, text option, ratings or dates. So here we have chosen the option called choice, where we have given added few answers. We can add picture or video question also. It means that after go through that video or pictures, the student will give the answer. So professor, they need to put here the options, and on the right hand side they have to choose the correct option, so computer can give the marks automatically. Here we need to put the marks that will carry for this particular questions. Professor can toggle on the required, it means it's the mandatory for the students. Student have to give the answer, then only they can submit the quiz. In the same way, the professor can create all the quiz. We're having an option called themes. So any themes can add to attract the students or make a good view of this particular forms. You can see the view preview also. If the student use the computer, it will looks like this. If the student use the mobile phone, it's a fit to screen concept. So they can see very easily all the questions. Now the forms name is, or the quiz name is, object oriented programming. Now if I move to the teams and if I click here and choose the quiz, automatically my teams will check if I have created any quiz using forms application. So automatically it found that object oriented programming. So I have to click over there like here, and if I edit, so it's look like this. So already I have defined here, no need to give the points will automatically, it will take from forms application. So title is not required, it is the forms link automatically embedded over here. Then you can give the due date and timing and which channel it will visible for students. So student, it's simply they have to click on that forms and they can take the answer. So when it will come, it looks like this in the teacher's view. In the teacher's view, teacher will be getting like student 1 have already turned in and revert back. Student 2 have seen but not yet submitted. Student 3 have seen and submitted. Student 4 not yet seen. So obviously not submitted. But student 5, they have seen and submitted. In the teacher's student view, if I go to the assignments, it's look like this, that object oriented programming. So student has to click over here and then they have to click to submit the assignment. Now, after getting all the turned in, the teacher can go to the grades and they can export the result to the Excel file. So this was all about how teacher will float the assignment. The two kind of assignment, one subjective type, one MCQ. How the student will get the assignment and submit. Next, how professor will review it and return back with marks and feedback. In next, we'll see how we can create a class notebook where we can do annotation and we can work together with the students. If we click over here, the class notebook options, the first we have to set up the class notebook. First, I am choosing here the blank notebook. In the blank notebook, we'll be getting four options. One is the collaboration space, content library, then teacher only section and student notebook. So collaboration space, the teacher and student both having rights to edit the content. Content library space means teacher can edit, student can view only. In teacher only section, teacher can edit the content, student cannot view the content, right? This is only for the teachers basically. And then student notebook where that uh, teachers having access individual students notebook, but student only having access their own notebook. They cannot see the others friends notebook. So if I click next, here the option will come for the teachers that what are the section it's required for the student notebook. You can just make it personalized. Suppose if you need that class notes as well as homework, then you just keep this two. If you would like to add more, then you can add, then you click create. It takes few seconds to create. It will just create the teacher's view. The teacher will be getting the conversation collaboration space, content library, teacher only section, as well as all the notebook of students. Those are part of this particular virtual classroom. So here 5 students are there. So if I click this particular arrow, so I am getting here that collaboration space, content library, teachers only page, and all the notebooks of students. In the collaboration space, we can create the section, right? The section you may create, suppose here we have created that C++, we can create, right? So this is the section is that, and every day for day-to-day work, we can create a page. This is suppose classwork page for this date. So here the teacher can write directly over here because annotation is available here. So teachers can write something in this particular page, and student also can write if they have stylus. Otherwise they can type also anything. We can type over here. The text typing is also available here. You can type something, right? In the content library, the same way the teacher can add as many as they want the section as well as pages. The teachers only in this section also teacher can add section as well as pages. Then we can go to that student one. I'm just showing you here. There are two sections we have taken. One is homework, one is the class notes. In the homework section, we can add pages. So pages means suppose homework for this date. We can give the question, right? Now, after creating a homework page, we can distribute this page to all other students. How? There is an option called class notebook. We can go to that class notebook. There is an option called distribute page. We can go to here and distribute the page to other students. So it will ask in which section to distribute. So we have to choose the homework section and we have to click on distribute. So it takes few seconds. It's depend upon the number of students. Here number of students are 5. So that particular homework page is going to distribute to all these 5 student under homework tab. So if it is done, it's showing done. Now if we go to here, this is the student 1 homework page. If we go to the student 2 and click on homework page, we'll be getting the same homework page over here, right? So it has distributed to all the students. The student, they can just revert back in this particular page. The teachers, they can just see and review that particular homework over here. So if I move to that student view and go to the class notebook, the class notebook is looks like this. When they will just click on this, so the student 4 is getting only the collaboration space, content library, and the student 4 means this is his or her own notebook. So if the student 4 go to the homework page, they will be getting this homework that student has given. So whenever they will answer the question, right? Suppose they are answering the question like this. Suppose this is the answer. If I move back to student 4 and homework, teacher will able to see the answers. The teacher here, they can just give the marks. This is the option like this. They can put feedback also. So in this way, class notebook works. So we have learned to creating virtual classroom, add channels in the virtual classroom, create or generate code for that particular class. Then student, how they will part of a virtual classroom applying the code. Next is scheduling online class. We can restrict student during online class. Then how teacher have how teacher can create assignment for the student. Then how student will reply back. Student how teacher will review it. Then how teacher and student both they will work on the collaborative platform called class notebook. So this is all about Microsoft Teams that can help online class for the teachers as well as students.